Hey, I'm sorry. Superstar 75 movie reviews. I'm sorry. Me and me. Today we're gonna talk about Overlord. Wow. J.J. Abrams. Listen, if J.J. Abrams can bring this much excitement and intensity to Star Wars Episode 9, he could save the franchise. But they still have to fire Kathleen Kennedy. They need to do that. But Overlord, wow. Just when I thought it was going to get a little slow here and there, and it kicks up and ramps up, man. Okay, so if you're a fan of those war movies, that whole Wolfenstein shtick, this is it. This is the movie for you. So basically, World War I with Hitler? Yeah? Okay, I'm not going to get into the history of black GIs because I don't think black GIs were allowed in World War I. I don't know. It's not about a history lesson. So we got the main character, Boyce, brother. We got Corporal Ford, his superior. We have Commandant Waffner, the bad guy. And then we got the side part of the crew for Ford and Boyce, which is Tipper, and another guy. And then we have Chloe, the French gal. Okay, starts off, Boyce and Ford are in the B-52. This movie is extremely loud for the first 20 minutes. Loud like Saving Private Ryan loud, like war loud, like the hums of the B-52s and the explosions. So they're flying over Germany, of course. No, flying over France. I'm sorry, France. They got it. The mission is to get to a church that has a radio tower set up. They had to disable the radio tower before the D-Day, before the rest of the GIs actually storm the front. Okay, Bokeem Woodbine's in this for about 10 minutes, which is good to see him back in the major films. Bokeem Woodbine is the sergeant, airborne sergeant. This is the 101st Airborne that Boyce is a part of. So basically, it's just roving shot of all the B-52s hitting the land, and then the anti-aircraft explosions. The ship gets, or the plane gets shot to hell, blows up. They all have to scramble to get out. They get out. They land by a couple clicks from a little village in France. Now, there are some issues because Boyce is not a model soldier. He's kind of soft, kind of green. He barely made it out of boot camp. He gets teased a lot by Tepper. Ford is a very battle-hardened corporal. He's been through a lot, seen a lot. I think it's his second tour. Okay, moving on. And then what happened when they landed? They linked up. Oh, Sergeant Bokeem Woodbine, his character gets gunned down by German soldiers. And then they make their way to the village that the occupying Germans are occupying. Someone's in my shot trying to get some fame. No clout chasers in my frame. Look at these clout chasers. So I can see spitting. Clout chasers. Anywho, they meet Chloe. Chloe sneaks them into her house. Now, mind you, this village is occupied by German forces. The church that they need to go to disable the radio tower, the church has an underground lab by this German doctor. The village sits on a pool of black goo. Black goo, reminiscent of Prometheus alien lore, the infamous black goo that transforms things into something else, reanimates dead matter. Same black goo, different universe, same effects. So now what they've been doing is German soldiers round up volunteers for the experiments, and then it's for Hitler's 1,000-year army. Basically turns them into super strong zombies that are extremely hard to kill. Some villagers who don't make the cut, they're all incapacitated, bodies just all morphosized, metastasized, and all these lumps and all. They're just jacked up. They get set on fire. Okay, so then what happened? They get to the house. Then what?
And then the German
soldier, Waffner, the bad guy. Waffner has agreed to leave Chloe alone as long as he sleeps with her. Chloe's aunt has gone to the church, come back. She's all jacked up. You can hear the heavy breathing in her room. Doesn't sound like an average sickly person. It sounds like someone is transforming into something. Boyce, being knows that he is, actually goes in there in the room and tries to see how sick the aunt is, and he gets a glimpse of her, and she's pretty messed up bad. Anywho, so then Waffner is about to consummate with Chloe against her wishes, and then Ford's like trying to hold Boyce back because he wants to go down there and do something to him. Now the dynamic between Boyce and Chloe, reminiscent like Ray and Finn almost, but it was a funny thing because Boyce can speak French, but she said, "Hey, your French sounds different," and he's like, "Oh yeah, my grandmother's Haitian and she lives in Louisiana, so if you speak French, it's like a New Yorker with an accent versus a California. They both speak English, but there's an accent. So clearly his French, it has an accent or it has a different tone to it than the Parisian or the real or the French. Okay. So then Boyce puts the pistol, puts the M1 Springfield rifle. I think it's an M1 Springfield rifle to the back of the head. Waffner. They subdue Waffner. Ford takes Waffner upstairs. Subsequently tries to interrogate him to find out how much or who. Oh no, wait. They string him up, right? And then Ford beats him up, finds out how many soldiers are there in the church. Yes? No, we missed the part, huh?
Yeah, Boyce went to the thing to get some, he snuck some type of injection.
So Boyce somehow ends up looking to go get the other guys. He ends up in the truck with dead bodies that actually goes into the church, the underground lab, and he sees the inner workings of it. He sees the radio room. Everything's underground. He sees the lab. He sees the bodies. He sees what the experiments all about. He finds an underground tunnel. He escapes, comes back to the Chloe's house, tells Ford what's going on. Ford's like, "Hey man, it's not our fight. We're just here to take out the tower." So then, right. They get back there.
And then he still...
Ford beats up Waffner.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they're about to go do their plan because they got like 6 hours left to get the tower down before the Allies storm the beachfront. So then what happens is there's a photographer, combat photographer. His name is Pete. Pete goes upstairs to check on Waffner. Waffner's bag his head is in the bag and he's limp. So you think he's knocked out or dead. And so then Pete, being a dummy, he unties Waffner. Waffner's body drops. He plays possum. Waffner kicks Pete, gets the gun, shoots Pete twice, and then gets to shoot at everybody else. Boyce takes him out, restrains him. Pete, they're trying to save Pete. Pete ends up dying. It was pretty realistic. I was like, dang, Pete, man, you about to die, homie. And he's wheezing, and the blood's coming out of the hole in his chest. It was a pretty good death scene. Pete dies. But I forgot. Boyce had stole a serum of the what do they call it? Serum of the juice, rather, right? And he tried to tell Ford about it. Ford didn't care. So he pumps it into Pete's chest. Literally seconds later, Pete is reanimated. But Pete is not Pete anymore. Pete ends up he was like, they asked him like, "Yo, how you feel?" He's like, "I feel great. I'm thirsty." And then he has a headache, and then the veins start popping out of his head, and then he just goes into his rage and starts banging his head against the beam, and then he just starts throwing everybody because literally this guy is super strong at this point. So then Ford literally pumps a half a clip into Pete, and then, mind you, Ford is carrying a what we call a Tommy submachine gun. That thing shoots 45 round calibers. He pumps a clip into Pete's chest. Pete gets up like it's nothing. And then, just before Pete's about to go AWOL and wreck shop with everybody, Boyce hits him in the head and keeps hitting him in the head with the butt of his rifle, bashes his head in. That's the only way he could stop Pete, basically. Just bash the head in of Pete. So, in subsequent melee, Waffner gets away, kidnaps Chloe's little brother. They go, and he calls for reinforcements. The Germans come and scoop them up. Shootout between Boyce and Ford and the Germans. Ford shoots Waffner and literally shoots half his face off. He's not dead, but he's severely injured. Half his face is literally gone. Waffner gets back to the underground lab. The doctor scientist, the German scientist, So obviously Waffner is trying to get the serum. He's like, no, don't, the serum is still unstable. We never tested on a living human. He injects himself 2 times with the serum. I mean, we'll get back to that. So then Chloe, Boyce, and Good, or Ford, and Tepper, and the other guy. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, Boyce rescued one of his comrades that was soon to be injected with the serum and turned into a zombie. They saved him. He brought him back. I'm sorry, I skipped all that part. So they all concocted a plan to go rescue Chloe's little brother and take out the tower. So they all go inside. Tepper and the other guy, the guy that got rescued, will do like a diversion on the outside, yada yada, and keep the guys coming out and busy while they can go and sneak inside through the back way that Boyce found and blow up the lab and the radio tower. Okay, all in the same swoop. Okay, and help Chloe rescue her little brother. They get back to the church. They're in the church and they're looking, and then Chloe comes across one of the zombified soldiers, and they get into a scuffle. She finds the little boy, her brother. They're about to go through the escape plan. The zombie soldier catches him, right, and catches her and tosses her around. He's about to kill her and all this extra stuff. And she shoots this thing 3 times, literally underneath the chin 3 times. Still would not kill the zombified creature. She gets her flamethrower and makes marshmallow. Okay, so Boyce and Ford start lining up, rigging the explosives into the radio lab. The radio control room was good at. Boyce is in the lab rigging explosives. Okay, so then, wait a minute, what did I miss? I missed some parts, didn't I? Mm-mm. Yeah.
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, so then they're ready to set the dead. Oh, wait. What did I miss?
Remember when before they went to the thing, Chloe got chased by the soldier thingy? Not the.
We don't care about all that. I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying. So, just as Ford is about to set the timer for the explosives, here comes Waffner. Waffner's super strong now. He's got the veins. He doesn't. I guess living tissue, it doesn't really affect them physically like reanimated dead tissue. Okay, the reanimated soldiers are just like they break bones and they shift and contort. With Waffner, he was a living individual, so basically all he had was the veins and the super strength, and maybe his mind might have been snapped a little bit because he's just deranged at this point. He beats up Good. He impales Good on a hook. Oh God, that hurt. That just watching that scene just hurt my chest. Then Boyce is in the lab, right? And he comes across the German scientist. He beats him up, stabs him in the chest with a scalpel. Basically, and then Waffner somehow throws Good through they make their way to the lab. They're all in the lab fighting. It's Waffner versus Good and Boyce. And Waffner's getting the best of everybody. Waffner has Waffner's about to basically do the same thing to Good that Good did to Waffner at Chloe's house. He's about to hit him with the brass knuckles and just beat the crap out of him. So then here comes Boyce, hits him with a clip from the M1 Springfield rifle to no avail. So they're all getting beat up by Waffner. And then there's one point where Good unhooks himself off the hook, and then he injects himself with the serum. Of course, Boyce didn't see all this take place. So then they subsequently blow up a can of gasoline, or gas of compressed air. No compressed air. And a canister of a very volatile substance, and it blows everybody up. You thought they're dead, but they're not dead. So back comes Waffner, climbing up the gate. Then all the soldiers in the lab start waking up. The zombified soldiers, they're all, because Waffner reanimated all of them, they all start coming to life. Boyce and Good about to trying to get out. Boyce is trying to save Good, trying to rescue him to get out. Good throws Boyce out, locks the gate. Boyce is like, what are you doing? I can save you. We gotta go. Open the gate. Boyce and Good's like, nope, no one can have this, not even our side. So he realized the implications of if the U.S. got a hold of this serum as well, or the secret that lies underneath the village. So basically he's like, nope, no one can have it. It's gonna die here with me. He sets an explosive, or what is it called? Not thermite. what is that explosive called? Plastique. Could be plastique. We'll say plastique. And so then Boyce is like, so he leaves Good and or Ford. So everyone's coming to come get Ford. Waffner and the reanimate soldiers are coming up for Ford. But then, after Ford injected himself, him and Waffner kind of go at it, but Waffner's just too big and too strong, even on the juice, even when Ford's on the juice. So they all blow up. Okay, the explosive that Ford had blows everybody up. So literally, it just starts to cave in the church. Boyce is trying to run out of the church in time because of the explosions, and the place is just caving in on top of itself. Boyce gets out. Yay, the brother survives. Yay. I know my melanated people rejoice. The brother survives. Y'all know how these movies be, man. The brother never gets... It's rare the brother survives at the end. Let's be honest. Okay? So I'll take this little small victory. Boyce gets back to the Allies, storm the beachfront. They're successful. Boyce is debriefing his commander. Commander's like, hey, you didn't see anything down there. We heard some stories about a lab. Of course, Boyce is like, nah, there's nothing there. Didn't see anything. So then Boyce, Tepper, and the injured guy that he saved all get shipped off to Company C. Chloe is there helping take care of injured soldiers because she went to the University of London to be a veterinarian, because Boyce said, hey, your English is pretty good. That's why her English is pretty good. Blah, 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 blah. So getting to the end, that's the end. Overlord, great movie. And they gave us this awesome poster. Overlord poster. Overlord. Awesome. Free stuff. You like free stuff? Did you like the movie?
Yeah.
My co-host liked the movie. So I listened. Overlord gets 2 thumbs up, 8 stars out of 10. It gets the 10-year-old thumbs up. So I liked it. It was a hoot, man. I was pleasantly surprised. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think I was going to enjoy it this much. So I'm going to stop running my mouth. Superstar 75 movie reviews. Overlord, awesome. Peace.